Power to the people we're about to do maintenance. Thank you for tuning into the Two Stubborn Nigerians YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy the video. That was the song Jail by Kanye West off his new album Donda. Donda released on August 29th, 2021. 27 songs, 1 hour and 48 minutes. Long awaited, long anticipated, as almost any Kanye West release is, but this one specifically had been talked about for years. We've seen the studio sessions for years, different artists coming in and out, whether it be in traditional studios or back when Kanye was in, locked away in Wyoming, doing whatever he was doing. Had the listening events where he's got his, a model of his old house that he grew up in. Reports that he didn't even want the model. He wanted someone to airlift the old house into the stadium. Like, had Kim coming down in a white dress, sparking, oh my gosh, are they back together? Just a lot of typical Kanye West show and pageantry, which goes along with any one of his album releases, which is a real trademark of his career, really.
Yeah.
And then you get the music, and even when the music comes, you don't just get the music. Then it comes with my label released this album without my consent. This is not my album, blah, 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 blah. Couldn't get us the samples cleared, so some songs are missing, whatever. It's here. It hasn't been adapted. It hasn't been removed. It's just been here. So you had the chance to listen to it, digest it. I'm gonna hand it over to you, man. Take it away.
Man. This was a weird one because for some reason I was excited. I went from really excited for this album to I don't care when this album drops anymore. And I think it was really just starting me. Well, it was really me just starting to believe that we'll never get in this album, I think. So that even when he started like saying, yo, okay, this album's coming out very soon, he started doing the listening parties. A part of me still thought, yo, I'm not hearing this album for like years to come. Even when it came out, a part of me wasn't excited for it. And this is probably the very first time that Kanye is releasing an album that I wasn't just ultimately excited for. So it was weird. It was weird. But when I pressed play, it changed. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the realization that, maybe that first, the Donda chant. I think it was the Donda chant that did it for me, where I was like, oh, okay, he didn't just call this album Donda for no reason. When he did the Donda chart, it all clicked in my head that, oh, okay, no, this is in dedication to his late mother. So maybe we are going to see like serious Kanye here. Maybe Kanye is coming on here with just pure artistic intent here. Maybe we're about to get something very special, and maybe I should be a bit more excited for what I'm listening to. I think there was a bonus because I did listen literally in this very seat now with my Beat headphones on, lights off, and my LEDs on, just like creating a nice vibe for myself. And then song 2 starts, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Obviously, you just played it, Jail. It felt like magic, especially in my beats. Oh my god, it felt like magic. It felt like magic. It felt damn near like I was flying. It was like, oh my god, this is what I wanted from the album. This vibe is what I wanted. And you said it. You asked earlier in an earlier episode. I can't remember which episode it was, and I said it then. I'll say it now again. Kanye gave me what I wanted with this album, if not more. Now, that's not to say it's a perfect album. That's not to say that if I could make changes off this album, I wouldn't. There's a few changes I'll make. I'll probably make it shorter to start with, because 27 is a lot. But again, it never feels long. It's just that there's a few songs on here that I feel like aren't necessarily necessary. But I'm not mad at them. Like, okay, yeah, is God Breathed one of my favorite songs off the album? No. But I'm not mad at it being there. And then when he does do what I needed him to do, it's like magic. It's like magic. Hurricane, I heard it. I heard the weekend on Hurricane. I heard him on Hurricane. I said, yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted, especially when I saw that, okay, it's going to be a feature heavy album. This is exactly what I wanted if it's going to be feature heavy. I'm happy with this album, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this is the quality of the album we got, man.
All right, so help me gauge then. And we usually save this to the end. Just help me gauge out of 10. What do you give this album?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8.
Mm.
Okay, so you're a really big fan of this.
Mm.
Okay.
Huge fan.
Okay. I had a very different journey with this album, man. There was never a point where I cared or was excited about this album in the lead up to it. Obviously, when I cared in 2016 when this album was meant to be coming out, right? And those periods where my own personal Kanye fandom was at all-time high, record levels, like huge fan. And sort of as the years have gone on, that's definitely changed. And as I said to you, off mic and before, there's not a world right now that exists where, however great Kanye's music was, or can be, where I feel like I'm like clamoring for any new Kanye West. I don't feel like there's anything right now that Kanye is going to give me music-wise that's going to be like life-changing. That's gonna hit. So there wasn't huge levels of excitement on my part. Obviously, he give you the album, and if you like it, you like it, you love it. But in terms of, is there any, man, I can't wait for this album, man. I'm so excited for what this album is going to be. I just can't wait. Like, I'm so excited to see what he does here. I wonder who's going to be on it. There was none of that. In the build up, there was none of that. The listening events, people, our good friend Daniel sent me, like, when he did the listening event and Daniel heard the J Electronica verse on Jesus Lord, sent me that instantaneously. He was like, bro, you need to look into this one. I feel like J got the best verse on this shit. And I was like, man, bro, I'm not even entertaining listening to this. Like, there's no excitement here. Like, when our good friend Marco, shout out Marco, man, when Marco was hitting us both in our group chat, like, yo, have you heard it? It's sounding like this. Or you heard Baby Keem's on here, it sounding like this. I'm just like, I'm even just ignoring those messages because, like, there's no I'm not even listening to the videos that you're sending us, you know what I'm saying? So there was no real excitement. And then obviously when it drops, like I said, on podcast and off the mic to you, man, I wasn't going there. I wasn't listening to the 12 midnight release. I didn't even listen to it for like the first week that it was out because, like I said, I was so sure there were still going to be changes that would come on this album. Yeah, so like, even as all the listening events were going on, even when it was released and people giving their takes and doing all that think tank shit, I was sort of just like, when I listen to it, I listen to it. And when I get it, I'll get it. And, as an overall synopsis, the music is good. The music is fine. I don't think it's superb. I think it has high points. I do definitely think there are really, really high points that do truly stand out. One of those is Moon. For me, I think that song is absolutely sensational. The production on Jail is absolutely sensational. I had a feeling you would love this album simply from the production standpoint, let alone even the words that were being said. But for me right now, I'm still going to take this as mid, because for me, where I'm at and with the music that I'm listening to, with the music that's really resonating to me, just sounding good doesn't mean shit to me anymore. Just sounding good doesn't mean shit to me. I feel like there's something that I'm going to need to want to take away from this. And I do feel like if you're Kanye West, you should be proud of this album. If you're Kanye West or even any of the artists featured on here, you should be proud of this album, but especially Kanye, like I said, in an album that you're dedicating in the memory of your mother, something that's been talked about for years. A version of Donda leaked in like 2016, if you remember, straight on YouTube. So to even overcome that, still come back and do what you did here, to have the array of artists that you have on here from completely different walks of life. Like when you have the Sunday School Choir on the same album that you have West Side Gun and Conway the Machine, and they're still, sounds good in both cases. That's really special. So they should be proud here as a fan and as a consumer of this. it's just not for me, man. I'm music. If it just sounds good, it's not gonna live with me anymore. And so I needed something more. I needed a lot more. And like I said, you get that in spurts, but never in a consistent enough manner. I also think it doesn't need to. There's literally no justification for it being that long, other than you made that many songs. Like there's zero justification. There's no reason for it to be an hour and 48 minutes, let alone 27 songs, other than the fact that you made that many songs and you just didn't want to cut anything. And again, as an artist, you can do whatever the fuck you want in that realm. But as a listener of that, it makes it even more difficult to listen to, and even more difficult to consume from my perspective. So sonically, it sounds fine. You know what I mean? It sounds fine. Again, there are moments that sound sonically amazing and sensational, and you can put them up there with almost anything. There are other moments that really, in my opinion, bring it down. And at times they actually sound very difficult to listen to. And that's one of the issues with these albums, which is super long, is that you sort of let yourself go on quality control a lot of the time, because you're like, okay, this may not sound the best, but I know they're gonna fuck with this, so it will compensate. And for someone like me, with just the way I listen to music, it's never going to compensate. Like the shit that brings it down is going to stick with me more than the high points at many times, because I'm always like, why did you do that? Just take it off. Yeah, you as the artist can probably feel that this isn't up to the same quality, and if you can't, that is scary. But it's a project to be proud of. It is a project to be proud of. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there isn't, like I said, great moments of music on here. Some great features on here. It's great to hear some of the artists shine in the way they did. I felt Fabi shined on Off the Grid. Really shined. I felt Keem shined on Praise God. As much as I'm not the huge fan of that song, but I can listen to that and say, oh no, Baby Keem is killing this shit right here. Hurricane, as you mentioned, that was one of the big songs that was, played at the listening parties and people are really excited about, with Baby and The Weeknd. And The Weeknd sounds great. Kanye does his thing, which he's done for his whole career, which he's spoken about on this podcast before. His amazing talent of bringing the best out of whoever he's working with. And it's similar to West Side Gun, it's similar to Travis Scott, it's similar to Tyler, the Creator, in that effect that whenever you're featured on their songs, you always see an artist be the best version of themselves. And that doesn't change here. That's the exact same here. Playboy Carti sounds really good on this. Conway and West both sound really good on this. Jay Electronica and Jesus Lord sounds amazing. I don't think Pop, I didn't like the Television Pop Smoke feature.
No, wasn't it?
I didn't like it. I understand it, especially if you have it in the tuck with Pop Smoke, obviously being laid to rest. I understand it, and putting it on there and getting shine, and even the royalties that will come to Pop Smoke's family and the estate off that. Great, but it doesn't sound great. Roddy on Pure Souls sounds really good.
Oh man, Sean Sia on Pure Souls.
Sean Sia sounds really good too. So, like I said, there are some really, really high points here. It's just that, like, I felt like, for me, the whole pageantry around it sort of hurt the album for me, and then the length hurt the album for me. Some of the down points hurt the album for me, but I will celebrate the high points where they are, because there are a lot of really good high points, and it really is. If you're a fan of Kanye West, you'll be a fan of most of this. You'll be a fan of most of this. You can hear the attention to detail. You can hear the focus. The attention to detail that hasn't been there on previous projects as well. You can tell that, and obviously when an album's dedicated to a guy's mother, you can tell he's probably going to take it a little bit more serious than an album where he took the picture for the cover on the drive to the listening party. So I'm not too mad at that, but
I knew. I had a feeling the second I saw that it was 1 hour 48 minutes, I was like, yeah, Paul's gonna have a lot. Paul's not gonna have great things to say about the length. But again, I really enjoyed the album. Now this was a very feature heavy album, very, very feature heavy album, and you've already mentioned it a little bit. But who would you say is like your biggest standouts from the album that you walked away and said, man, if anyone shone, they shone. They came out.
You've got three. You've got three guesses.
3 guesses.
Yeah,
Damn.
You got 3 guesses.
Come with the machine.
I'll give you one. No, I'll give you one hint. If you go on our spreadsheet now, there's an episode in the tuck for him.
Damn. Hold on, let me go on the spreadsheet. Some people don't even know what the spreadsheet is. Well, like the spreadsheet, yeah. No, that's the secret. That's the juice.
That's the secret sauce, man. Don't loud it. Don't loud it. That's when they start trying to
Okay,
steal
yeah.
my shit.
So Don Toliver,
That's it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. That was it. That was
yeah.
it. From the moment I had that song, and I realized, oh, this is Don. So let me
Mm,
wheel it up again. And yeah, I thought Don and Cudi was an amazing combination. The song is really good. The messaging of that
mm,
song is really good. That's one of the songs. Similar to what you were saying about jail, where like you were like, am I flying? Like, am I floating? It was one of those songs that really encapsulates the room. Like
mm,
whatever room you're listening to that in, especially like you said, if you're listening in beats where you can't actually hear anything else, but whatever room you're listening to feels like it's a part of the song. And
mm,
that may sound weird, but I think real music heads get it. Like I liken it to like, that's one of my favorite features of Janae's music, is that when a Janae song really hits, everything in the room feels like it's a part of the song. Like
yeah.
you instantly get transported. Like when you listen to Blue Dream, you feel like you're on a boat floating and the waves are just crashing in, like everything takes over the room. And that
Mm,
is very much the same with Moon, in the production of it and the instrumental behind it. And then with the way that Cudi is humming and Don is using his voice and the pitch, and then you add in the lyrics and what they're actually talking about, of just being able to simply just fly away and go to this higher plane of, I want to go to the moon, but don't leave so soon. Like just
mm,
that feel, it becomes all encompassing. And I think that aspect of it, where everything is just working in unison, propels that song to a really higher level. So yeah, I really felt that was a big takeaway feature for me, that I
mm.
heard, and I was like, man, this is I love this. What about yourself?
Man, it has to be Shansia. It
Mm,
has to be Shansia. Um, I've been listening to Shansia for a minute now. I didn't know personally that she could sing like this.
mm-hmm,
Her on Pure Souls, it was the whole album. I was enjoying the whole album up until that point.
mm-hmm,
Roddy Rich came on, and I was already excited. You already know how I feel about Roddy Rich. He's one of my favorites of his generation. So for Roddy Rich to be on the song, for Kanye West to be on that same song, and for me to only wheel it up because of what Shamsia did, is saying a lot, man. I had goosebumps. I had actual goosebumps of just the way the beat dropped out, and the truth, the only thing you get away with, and her voice. Again, I didn't know she could sing like that, and it blew me away. I didn't even assume it was Shamsia at first. I went to Rap Genius. Okay, who is this voice? Because it's different. And I saw Shamsia. I couldn't believe it. I
mm-hmm.
could not believe it. She killed it. She killed it. Again, goosebumps. Goosebumps. I mean, Don Toliver did a lot for me. A lot. I love that song. The Weekend. Wow, what a song. Shamsia, for me, is the highlight from this whole album. Shamsia and Bori, highlights from this whole album.
I think the best, for me, I think the best pure rapping feature was Jay Electronica.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought that was the best rap that I heard on this album, in terms of lyricism, in terms of messaging, in terms of also just understanding the assignment and fitting the assignment. That's one of the things that I'll talk about on the second album that we do here today, of like, when you do have a lot of features, the quality control for your features, of assuring that like everyone understands the assignment of what you're trying to do. I felt like for the most part on this album, everyone did. For the most part, West likes to stray, but West Side does that. But because a lot of them are vocal features, a lot of them are doing hooks or singing or just being more melodic, let alone rapping. Like Roddy doesn't really rap in the way we know that Roddy can rap. Obviously Hove raps, because what else is Hove gonna do? Sing? No. Like, so obviously Hove raps, the Locks rap, but a lot of other people are being a lot more melodic with their shit. Like The Weeknd was great and it was melodic. Shansia was really melodic with her shit too. But in terms of just like straight barring and rapping and having given you something that you can actually digest and take away in rap format specifically, I felt like JLX stood out in that vein. But then again, like I said, that just adds to like, it shows you another tier of the greatness of Kanye West. Another tier of the greatness of Kanye West. You could say that Shansia sounds the best that she sounded. You had to even go away to find out if it was her, if you didn't even know. on the same project, I could say, man, Jay Electronica sounds some of the best that he sounded.
Yeah.
Conway continued sounding really good in the way that we both said that he has done this year, and continued in that pocket. So there's, like I said, there's a lot to like here, and if this was, you know, for you, I'll never be mad at people saying this is for them. You know, I'll never be mad at people saying this is a great album. Again, the Love Affair, this is still my favorite artist of all time, even through his bullshit. And so the Love Fest that he's been getting from this, and I will continue to come back to it till the day I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? When someone is celebrating their mother in this vein and it's getting that much positive reaction, it's a beautiful thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can only dream of the day that we do track 45 or track 78 or some shit like that. Paul's mum, like, I'm a Lola, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm here trying to do justice to her, and if niggas come through, it's like, nah, this wasn't it. All of a sudden, I gotta get the strap. You know what I'm saying?
It's beef now.
It's gotta be Mac 10s for everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? Because who are you to tell me that I didn't like? What if my mum likes it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Like, who are you? But yeah, no, it was good in that sense, man. I'm really happy for it. And like I say, if you're Kanye West, man, I feel like you should be very proud of what you did here. Very proud of what you did.
Real quick, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention this point, because I remember I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget it. As it was playing, I wrote it down. I'm ready to hear West Side Gun on more beats like this. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. That shit was like magic to me. I was like, yo, these ad-libs are fire on this type of beat. And yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to diversify the sound, man.
That's the work just in time. Thank God. Thank God.
Fam, we made it.
We made it. Wes is funny, man. Wes will never not be funny to me, man.
Nah, he's the best.
He really is. He really is. It might be MVP 2 years in a row. Yeah. Wes is not giving up this fucking crowd.
Oh man. All right, cool. So what did you think about the songs where there were no feature? Because to me, they were some of my standouts.
Yeah, but there's only 3, and so it's like, and this is again, like, as you were introducing it, you're saying this album, it's a mixtape. It's a collection of songs. Now, it is more of an album than other albums that do this, because there is a consistent theme, there's a consistent sound. Like, you can understand how the songs sort of relate, but it still feels just like it's a playlist. It's a playlist. It's a really good and really well curated playlist. And then you do get to those songs that are just him. Obviously, the one that I think stood out to most people almost instantaneously was Believe What I Say, because he sampled Lauryn Hill again. Yeah. And whenever he does that, it's always just like everyone's mind sort of cast back to, oh my God, it's All Falls Down Part 2. And it definitely isn't. But Believe What I Say, I think, is a really good song. I always love hearing most artists over Lauryn Hill samples, because it's Lauryn Hill. She's amazing. And so you instantly get a bonus from that. And Kanye's one of the greatest samplers of all time. He's one of the greatest samplers of all time. He understands how to use it. He sounds really good. Yeah. He sounds really good. And that's even as a rapper, especially in a world where I don't think Kanye has sounded really good as a rapper for a long time. So he does sound good in his rapping, which is good to see. Again, if I was, it's hard for me to say this because, like I said, I didn't really have big expectations, or I didn't really care about the album when it was coming out. But if I was to like choose, I would probably want more songs where he is more prominent as a rapper, because I feel like he just has a lot to say. There's a lot that I would like to hear him rap about that has gone on in the last sort of 5 years. And he hasn't necessarily done that. Obviously, if he went on the life-changing journey that he did, where he was like really going deep into his Christianity, and he then wanted to explore that more in his music, and you still see the influences of that here heavily throughout this album, even with the Sunday Service Choir being here so frequently as they are, but even on different songs, you definitely see that influence, and he definitely sticks to that and theme. But I would love to hear him delve a lot deeper into rapping on this project. So songs like Believe What I Say really do, help with that and provide that. So I think that's good. What about yourself? What did you think?
Yeah, no, again, they were my standouts for the album. Easily my standouts for the album. I felt like those were the songs where he really had something to say and you could hear it. You could hear it. Again, believe what I say, and I wrote it down again. It damn near felt like he was talking like with straight, direct reference to what's happened in his life and his late mother. And it was almost like a warning. And it was stuff like that. It was songs like that where I felt that on top of the production. Because as you said, like one of the easiest reason why I love this album is the production. But when he started talking, it was like, oh my God, I love everything about this. I love everything about this. For him, for the hook to simply be don't let the lifestyle drag you down. And then to reference that to his life, to reference that to other celebrities' life, and to reference that to how we know his mother passed, it just hits a bit differently. It's like, man, what space was he in when he was recording this? And it's just stuff like that. And then even as much as I guess Sunday Service Choir is a feature on it, songs like 24, where it's just like, okay, again, you know, my point, I said it before we started recording today, my point gets stronger every single day. Every single day. Choirs will never make a song worse. Choirs can only ever make a song 10 times better.
I love that you say this as if anyone's ever disagreed with you.
They're not, but I just need my accolades. That's all I need.
For what?
For saying it.
For something that everyone has always known and agreed with. Like,
everyone said, oh, gravity, everyone knew gravity exists. They just didn't have a word for it. Then Isaac Newton said, yo, apples fall down. And they're like, oh my God, give that nigga his accolades.
So you're saying that your point is the same level as Isaac Newton?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What, you want me to make an equation for this?
Real quick. Hi, everyone. This is your second warning reminder today. Yo, anyone can have this spot. I promise you. In fact, I'll pod by myself. Me, myself, and I. That's all I got in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll just be, I'll come in here. It'll still be two stubborn Nigerians. Don't worry about it. I'll argue with myself. But like, someone get rid of him.
Fam.
Nah, I feel you. You're correct. Nah, you're correct. Yeah. Talk your shit. Yo, someone help me, please. I'm in pain.
Fam, before we move on, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Kanye's verse. I'm forgetting the song name, which is really annoying me. That's another thing with this album. I wish he put the features on the album so that I didn't have to go to Rap Genius to see who's the feature on which song. But the one with Jay Electronica on it.
Jesus Lord.
Kanye's verse is amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good verse.
It's a really, really good verse. Kanye's verse is amazing. Jay Electronica's verse is amazing. You could tell, you know, the second I saw that it was a 9-minute song, I was like, okay, we're getting something special here. And something special is exactly what we got, man.
Yeah. Like I said, there's really high points on this, and you'll never get away from that. There's some really good high points on this. For what he obviously wanted to achieve, he should definitely be proud. I think everyone who was on here should be proud. They should be happy with what they were able to achieve. I would have wanted something different if I was creating this album myself. I would have wanted something more. Maybe would have gone in a different vein, but you can't front when the music sounds good. The music sounds good. So it's up there. What song do the people need to go listen to, good sir? As if they haven't already listened to this whole album.
Honestly,
but
you haven't listened to it yet. I'm not gonna be the one to make you want to go and listen to this album. But I would say my standout is probably, I'm gonna go with Pure Souls. Again, for all the reasons I said earlier, man. Roddy Ricch didn't come to play. Roddy Ricch did what he had to do on it. Kanye West followed up with doing what Kanye West does. And then Shantia damn near had me contemplating my entire life with just how beautiful her vocals were. It's not even like she said anything great. Like, she said the same line over and over and over again. But when someone sings that beautifully, with the know-how of Kanye West to say, yo, let's drop out the beat here and let Shamsia's vocals just do what Shamsia's vocals need to do here. again, I had goosebumps, and I could not let that song pass by. I could not let Chauncey even get halfway through what she was doing without me saying, "Yo, I need to go back to the beginning," because I was not ready for what Chauncey brought to this. I'm just excited for what she's doing, man. If she can sing like this, and then she can make all the other songs that she's been making at the same time, yo, that's a powerhouse. That's a powerhouse of one person.
Points were made. Points were made. For me, man, you've already. I mean, you should already know. I want to go to the moon. Don't leave so soon. How could I get through? I love it, man. Kanye's really good at songs on his albums where he doesn't say a word. Like I liken it back to on Late Registration, Drive Slow. No, not Drive Slow. My Way Home with Common, where Common is literally just rapping for 2 minutes and Kanye doesn't say a single word. And it's one of the best songs in the album. Like, how dare you do this? But it's like, this is your album. You could just left this on Common's album. No. Come sit on my album and say, you just rap. I won't say a single word and I'll get all the money and credit for it. I think it's amazing. There's the same thing here with Don and Kid Cudi. What a combination. A beautiful combination. They sound great. Cudi sounds really good. Don sounds really great, as you know, he would expect. Don, you're making music for a lot of other people. When are you going to start making music for yourself?
Because I saw the advert you did, and I thought an album was coming 2 days after.
Like, I'm seeing you working with producers. Like Metro's posted that he's working with you. Hit Boy's posted that he's working with you. Like, you're clearly in the studio because I see you on every other album that is dropping these days. But for some reason, you're acting like you don't want to give the niggas a sequel to Heaven or Hell. Don't be like crazy. Isaiah Rashad and wait 5 years. Don't do that.
And it's insane because we have special episodes waiting for your album.
Waiting. Literally everything is set up. Like Marco has cleared his schedule for like 4 months so that whenever you drop, he's ready. Like, what? You don't want the people to hear your new shit? Don, if you are really the Don, Big Sean's just nothing. Tolliver.
Yo.
If I'm Big Sean, I'm stuffing him.
Let's move on.
No, come on. If I'm Big Sean, I'm stuffing him. You ain't the Don, boy.
Yo, Big Sean has a whole song called Don Life, and
do you know
Don Toliver doesn't get mentioned once.
He's been saying I do it for a decade. This nigga came in once. I said, you can't say. No one's been the Don since. One's been the Don since.
Yo, Don Toliver is different. He's actually
He's the best. He's animal. You got this nigga said, tell me what you really.
Oh my god!
As a throwaway track. It's one of the best of the year. Oh my goodness, Don Toliver, man. I miss you, bro.
For real.
That's all it is. I miss you,
man. Fam, when I heard him on Kanye, yo,
I screamed. I said, yo, let me reel this shit up right now.
I went straight to Twitter. I was like, is that Don Toliver?
Don Toliver? Knowing it's Don Toliver, you have to ask. Like, is this Don?
Like I said, highway to the moon. I said, oh my god.
I said, don't be so soon.
Oh my god.
How could I get through?
I'm contemplating, how do I get through?
But no, you got to deep it. I want to go to the moon. You see how all the billionaires are setting up property on the moon?
Man.
And they're leaving before all of us in the proletariat can actually get there. Don't leave so soon. How can I break through?
Man.
But what is he breaking through? The glass ceiling. Come on. And it's not like, but then already told us about all the phases of
Oh my god. Let's lock it off. We'll get to Drake another day, man.
Yeah, fam.
Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, hit the like button, comment, and please subscribe.